And tonight I stand by the words that I shared in my statement that Joe Hogsett must resign and the leadership of this council needs to step down as well so that we can move forward with fidelity in implementing change and establishing a culture of trust and respect for all city workers and our constituents in the city of Indianapolis.
A fourth member of the Indianapolis-Marion County Council is now calling on Mayor Joe Hogsett to resign. She also wants a change in Democratic leadership. Crista Carlino's new comments further fuel controversy over the investigation into former Hogsett administration Chief of Staff Thomas Cook. Carlino contends party leaders limited the probe.
News 8's Danielle Zukoski tells us Carlino spoke last night after the council meeting, heard from people saying they experienced harassment while working for the city government.
Members of the Indianapolis Administration and Finance Committee heard from people bringing forward allegations of harassment and assault from within the city-county government after last week's explosive full council meeting. This chance to speak came after a council meeting last week where Council President Vop Osili removed Lauren Roberts for attempting to speak longer than 2 minutes. She is the first person to bring forward accusations of sexual harassment against Thomas Cook, a former top Hogsett aide. A proxy spoke for her, a second Cook accuser, Caroline Ellert, and a new man who submitted a statement about civil rights violations he endured while working for the Department of Public Works.
The message I received from the council president was clear. Even in public forum, your voice can and will be silenced. He knew the cameras were rolling. He knew Indianapolis residents were watching. And still his actions made one thing plain. Our concerns aren't valued. Not if they disrupt the status quo, not if they call out power.
Investigative Committee Chairwoman Crista Carlino gave a speech at the meeting where she implied that other people in positions of power tampered with the scope of the independent investigation.
In January of this year, it became clear to me that the scope was limited to just Thomas Cook, and in a meeting with General Counsel, I asked that she print General Resolution 41 so that I could point to her and to the language not being indicative of any individual's name being named.
Carlino says she lost her job within 90 days of taking the role as Investigative Committee Chairperson, only going as far as calling that a coincidence. The next full council meeting is July 7th at 7 p.m. Councilors are expected to take up a final vote to approve the funding needed for the investigation. I'm Danielle Zulkowski for Wish TV and WishTV.com.
Carlino did not name Council President Vop Osili when talking about limits on the investigation, but she blasted him and the Council Vice President, Allie Brown, for how they handled the chaotic council meeting last week. Last night, Osili issued a statement saying, "In no way did I have any personal influence on the scope of the contract with the law firm that investigated misconduct in the Hogsett administration. To suggest that I did is not only false, it is an attack against my integrity and the values that I hold in every aspect of my life." Councilor Brown also says she did not limit the investigation, saying she too is a survivor of sexual assault. In a statement, she says Carlino's words are an exploitation of my pain and a mockery of serious issues. Crista Carlino should be ashamed.